Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different emotional moments in this movie by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about this film that a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing is, of course, exactly how the interactions between both Kylo Ren and Rey are really going to be, specifically within the second act of the film by J.J. Now, we do know that J.J. is doing something rather unique and original for the characters of Kylo and Rey in this story, something that fans have never seen before in the Skywalker saga, which I think is going to be something very interesting. We do know that a lot of Disney movies from the 1990s were used as inspiration for the Kylo Ren and Rey stories in Episode 9, so do take note of that. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for this film. Now, specifically, a description of both Kylo Ren and Rey sitting in front of each other of what appears to be a castle with a moon rising in the background over a tree line. It's said to be another Force Bond sequence in the film by JJ, where both Rey and Kylo are holding hands. It's described that Kylo appears to be teary-eyed, where Rey's hand is resting on Kylo's shoulder. It's described to be a moment in which Rey digs into Kylo Ren's mind and delivers powerful dialogue to Kylo about his past, as well as his parents, Han Solo and Leia. It's described to be a sequence in which feelings are exchanged between the two, and that Rey is trying to help Kylo. It's described that the new scenery is similar to when Luke delivers the truth that he is her brother of Leia, of course in Star Wars Episode 6. The next goes over Kylo giving out his hand and handing Rey a familiar object that causes Rey to become teary-eyed as well. It's unclear of what this object is, however, it's described to be connected to her past. So I want to go over a couple of parts about all of this. Now, we do know that there is going to be a castle structure in Episode 9, and that this sequence in particular is another Force Bond sequence. Now, I believe that this is Kylo Ren within the Dark Spire, in which this reylo moment, if you will, taking place in the middle of the movie between themselves, is actually based within the Dark Spire. So the Dark Spire is going to be this large castle that will appear in Star Wars Episode 9 that Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren travel to at some point in time in the movie. Now, what's really intriguing to me, though, is that the scenery is very similar to what we saw in Episode 6 between both Luke and Leia, where Luke pretty much delivers the truth to his sister that he is her brother. So the whole entire scenery is said to be similar to that, where now in this scenario we have both Kylo Ren and Rey exchanging their feelings for each other and what's really going on with their past, where Rey delivers a certain truth and understanding of Kylo Ren's past. She digs into his mind, as the same exact thing goes for Kylo Ren digging into Rey's mind and handing her an object across space and time, where is it actually an object connected to her past. Now, one would assume that maybe the object is not real, similar to what Luke Skywalker did to Leia, where Han Solo's dice were just a mere projection. It could very well be that Kylo Ren is handing her just a mirror image of a certain object from Rey's past by digging into her mind in order to create her and make her feel very emotional. So what's really intriguing to me is that we do know that, Rian Johnson set up this whole entire Force Bond sequence in The Last Jedi, and that J.J. Abrams is taking it to the next level in Episode 9. And I'm not quite sure how I really feel about that, the fact that Force Bonds are coming back in Episode 9. Mind you, we will get physical encounters between both Rey and Kylo Ren where they're both in the same exact room or the same exact environment, so that's good to know. But at the same exact time, Force Bonds are going to be a thing in this movie. So what do I really think's going on here? I think that this is essentially a setup to either that Kylo Ren redemption arc or something going on with Kylo Ren in a reaction to learning about this new threat in the movie that makes him feel vulnerable. We do know that we're going to learn more about the villain about midway through of the movie and leading into the end of the film, especially about this new foe that really is going to shift the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren, forcing them to essentially team up and take on this new enemy. So I think what's really great about this whole entire sequence is that, it really does open up a lot of questions. Why is Rey digging into Ben's mind? Well, she's trying to turn him back to the light. This is a moment in which Rey is trying to help Kylo Ren. So, the thing here is this. We do know that J.J. Abrams is really going to make Kylo Ren a whole lot more evil than Darth Vader ever was, at least in certain segments of this movie, mostly in the first and second act. You know, as we get to the end of the second act of the film, leading into the third act, is when we get that more conflicted Kylo Ren returning, due to the new threat in Episode 9. We also know that Resurrection is going to play a role in this movie. We're not quite sure for what character Resurrection will be applied to. It's either going to be Luke, Palpatine, or Kylo Ren are my three big bets right now. And I think that the most realistic route to go is probably Kylo Ren, where he's gonna die and get resurrected and be brought back as a good man again, as Ben Solo. That's a huge possibility. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.